Hello, my friends. I want to talk about my nationality, Kurds, and the role of Kurds in the Middle East and affecting on a different kind of dictatorships in the Middle East. Um, it's a very important philosophical question and political question inside of the Middle East, that the Middle East will not get any peace up to understanding of these dictatorships, that they have to give right to Kurds, because all of those revolutions, all of those changes in the Middle East, Kurds, they have roles inside of standing against dictatorships. So this is so serious, so important in a different kind of places, which they have a lot of Kurds inside of the countries, and they want their rights. And we actually have hundreds of experience about staying against of how to say the dictatorships, and against governments which they are standing against us. So our culture and our character, personality will not change, and the history is showed that our people, they care about our language, our identity, and it's so important, that thing. People which they are reading the history, they know about it, and it's so clear. It is not a bluff. Um, so right now, if you talk about the dictatorships, all dictatorships, they will lead, they will be in leadership for a period of time, and that period of time, it's clear that for how long they will stay, and you have to just check the constructions and the structure of the that government, which is they are dictator inside of that area. So when you analyze it, you understand like how much is damaged and how much is having problem inside of that country, and when will ending up to something like huge change. And that changes, it's usually starts from the lowest level of the society, according to the economical and financial uh, how to say situation of the people. Then it goes up progressively, because the problems are progressing progressively, and it goes up to the problem in the leadership and the conflicts which they have inside of the government. And that's so important to understand, that most of the dictators have that problem in the middle of their leadership period. That conflict will appear, because after the dictatorship you have to determine who will lead the country, and that's a very important question, which it's not easily can be solved. So that conflict and that cracks inside of the government will progressing up, yeah, up to making the dictatorship to be weak, and the conflict is going up, but the aggressiveness against people, against the sovereign, also progresses, and it will make it very dangerous. It's like a black hole, which is in the end of the days of like it's rolling and affecting on a third run, it's damaging everything, crashing, doesn't care about anything because the life his life is threatened actually, and nothing can stop it because of the fear that having in a losing of the dictatorship. That's so important. And for 100 years, Kurds they were in that level. They had actually a sound of not being state-certified, and they always they affected on the Kurds, and they killed a lot of Kurds. They did a lot of bad things to Kurds. They didn't give a right to us. But actually, in the end of the how to say dictatorship, Kurds they had a very big role inside of the changes in the country. It happened actually against the Saddam Hussein in Iraq, and nowadays you can see in Turkey that thousands of Kurds, and a lot of changes, a lot of economical problem, crisis happened because of the not given right to Kurds, and there's people that they support Kurds inside, and it is actually progressing level by level, and time by time when the time is running, and we can see it. So the best thing is to how to say to not do that bad things, to how to say to have a democratic country of Kurds, that Kurdistan should build it up inside of the Middle East, and world should know about that. We had very huge roles against terrorism inside of the Middle East, because if Kurdish forces, they were not available, it was really hard to control the how to say suppressing the force of the terrorism inside of the Middle East, and it could be very contagious to every country and to every places that could be could be a huge problem in different countries, because the structure of that terrorism, it was really complicated and it was unknown for other sides. We were living around, and we knew about it, how it is dangerous and how you can control it. And our forces, they help the our people and the world also to not give any permission to those dangerous steps inside of the Middle East. We controlled actually, I don't know how to say, I will not say that there were no other like country to help that. There were a lot of countries they helped in that, but the main role and the main strategy for controlling that, it was the military forces, and the strategy how you can suppress and geopolitical and geography of the Kurdistan, those places in which terrorism grew up. And that was another role that helped like the world. But the main thing that it is so important, dictatorship in the world, in many places there is, and it's available. It's a huge problem. We have to side by side, not only Kurds, but other nations, other people which speaking in a different language should help this situation. It's not a small problem, but it's very huge problem. It's threatening the future of the human being. We can see that huge conflict in different places of the world, the wars, the nuclear weapons in a different side of the world, even that countries which they are having democratic leaderships, also they can be dangerous for the future of a human being, not only dictators, because the conflict is in between the people which is their dictator and the democratic countries. And not always actually democratic countries which they are saying they are true about the situations, but they are also how to say, touching the dangerous points of the uh, problems. It can end up with a very huge problem and losing of the humanity at all. And those things are all connected to each other. So all of that side is, it's like a huge net of uh, how to say, huge net of the problems. We have to solve it side by side by individuals, not only by a society or a government can solve those problems, but the intellectual people, the smart people can solve that problem and bring in the freedom, bring in the peace to the world, in order not to lose our humanity. And I'm so happy that Kurds always they had a role. They had a big role in changes, and we were standing against dictatorships, and it makes me happy. And none of us will afraid of anything, and we will continue actually. And in every part, in every point. If there is some people which they want to get their right, we are standing side by side of them.